Good morning, students. Welcome back to the session. Today, we'll be going to discuss regarding the concept of virtual machine. Fine. So, what do you mean by a virtual machine first? So, virtual in the sense we know it is an illusion. Fine. Illusion, like we have already seen regarding, we have some brief idea regarding the concept of virtual memory, is it not? So what do you mean by a virtual memory? So virtual in the sense, as we all know, it is an illusion. So that memory doesn't exist actually, but it is an illusion that we had large memory at our side. So that is called the virtual memory. So by making the concept of paging and segmentation, like we used to implement the concept of virtual memory, so that we'll be going to discuss in the later session when it comes to memory management. Fine. Today in this session we'll be going to discuss regarding the virtual memory concept. So how this virtual memory or virtual machines are going to work on the system. Fine. How these machines are going to be implemented, what are the advantages of these virtual machines, and what are the drawbacks you will be going to face with these virtual machines. All things we'll be going to see in this today's class. Let's get started. Fine. So what do you mean by a virtual machine? So the fundamental idea behind the virtual machine is that, so we are going to abstract the hardware parts of a computer. So what do you mean by an abstraction? So abstraction is nothing but suppose dividing into number of modules, like abstracting means dividing into number of modules. So here the what is the actual concept of virtual machine is that we are dividing the hardware into different virtual environments. So actually a single hardware will be present, but what we are going to do is, by making use of that virtual machine software, like what you'll be going to do is, we'll be going to create separate virtual environments, some two or three virtual environments, so that in that two or three virtual environments we'll be going to make use of hardware resources. Fine. But what the actual thing is, we are having only one hardware resources. Suppose if you take any system, like we'll be going to have a process, an operating system, and a hardware resources, is it not so? So if process wants to interact with the hardware system, we'll be going to make use of that operating system kernel. So kernel is the one which is going to be taking part of all the hardware actions. Fine. So in operating system we used to make use of a kernel. So by making use of that kernel, we'll be going to interact with the hardware parts, and then we'll be going to do the task. So that is the concept of virtual machines. So I will be going to see by taking the diagram. Fine. So here what is the funda of this virtual machine is that, like we are going to have the hardware is nothing but, like we can take CPU, mouse, keyboard, memory, network interface cards, all these comes under the computer hardware parts. So what we are going to do is, we'll be going to make these hardware parts into several different environments. Like uh, like one hardware in the sense, we are not creating one environment. By making use of this one hardware and implementing virtual machine concept, we are creating different environments, and in those different environments we are taking the resources from the single hardware, and we are creating an illusion that we are having a separate environments for each and every process. So that is the basic funda of this virtual machine concept. We'll be going to have a better understanding when we have look at into the diagram. Fine. So when we are going to see in this diagram, so what it is going to happen actually, so this is one system. Fine. So this is one system. In this system we are having the processes, a kernel is nothing but an operating system, and also we are having the hardware comes under here. You can have the CPU, and here you can have memory, and here you can have some printer, and here you can have network interface cards. So something like that, all these comes under the hardware parts. So this is the physical system. So this system we call it as a physical system. Physical system in the sense it is a normal system. Normal system we call it as a physical system. In this normal system we used to have the process, and that process will communicate, this process will communicate with this hardware by making use of this operating system kernel. Is it not so? This is the basic funda how these processes are going to be executed in the operating system, how the process are going to make use of hardware resources by making use of the kernel. So this is the basic fundamental we have seen in the previous classes. Fine. Now we will be going to study regarding the implementation of this virtual machine. So this here you this is a this is a non-virtual machine system. This we call it as an non-virtual machine system. This we call it as an virtual machine system. This is a virtual machine system. So we have seen regarding the normal machine. So this is the here we'll be going to have the normal machine. In this normal machine we used to have the processes are going to be taking on the hardware systems, or by they'll be going to use the hardware resources by making use of a hardware by making use of the operating system kernels. So this total we call it as a one system. So this whole total we'll call it as a one system. So now when it comes to the second one, this second one is the virtual memory concept. So what is the virtual machine concept? Not memory, it is a virtual machine concept. Here we will be going to justify the definition by seeing this diagram. So what is this definition? The fundamental idea behind the virtual machine is to abstract the hardware of a single computer. Abstracting in the sense dividing. So dividing the hardware of a computer into several different environments, by creating an illusion that each and everything is going to have the separate environment. Fine. So here we are doing the same thing. So what we are going to do is, here we are going, this is the physical hardware. Physical in the sense the main hardware we are having. What we are going to do is, this hardware is going to be abstracted into different hardwares, different virtual environments. This is one virtual environment, this is the second virtual environment, and this is the third virtual environment. So how we are creating these three environments? In the sense, by this virtual machine manager or this virtual machine implementation, we'll be going to create the separate environments. Fine. So how we have to create this virtual machine environment? So first you are going to have the hardware. On the top of that hardware you have to install the virtual machine software by making use of virtual machine implementation. Fine. When we have installed the software, virtual machine software, so with this software you are going to create three virtual, you can create any number of virtual machines. Why? Because virtual machines in the sense it creates an illusion. Actually these doesn't exist, but what we are doing is we are creating an illusion that we are having a separate process for our side. So that illusion we are creating. Fine. So as we have installed this virtual machine software, we in this example we have created three virtual machine environments: virtual machine environment 1, virtual machine environment 2, and virtual machine environment 3. For each and every virtual machine environment we used to have a kernel and we used to have the process like a normal physical system. Here we have seen this is the physical system, right? This is the physical system. Physical system is having a process, a kernel, and hardware. So this is what we call it as a physical system. Here also what we are going to do is, by making use of this virtual machine software that is installed on the top of the hardware layer, like we have created three different virtual machines: virtual machine 1, virtual machine 2, and virtual machine 3. So in this virtual machine 1, we are having a kernel 1, a process 1, and the virtual machine 1. So what is this virtual machine 1? In the sense, this virtual machine 1, we are having an indirect access to this hardware. This virtual machine here, when you have seen the differences over here, here this hardware is going to be accessed by the process directly, so by making use of a kernel. But here in this kernel, in between the kernel and the hardware, here we are installing virtual machine environment. So here what the thing is, we are not directly interacting with the hardware, it is an indirect interact with the hardware. So by indirect interaction, by making use of that indirect interaction, suppose from this hardware you want a printer, in the sense it is going to make use of printer. Suppose this VM2 wants some memory, in the sense it is going to contact indirectly with this hardware and make use of this memory. If this kernel making use of this any other resources, in the sense this kernel 3 is going to make the use of resources. So what I mean to say is, like virtual machine is a software which is going to be installed onto the top of the hardware system. So if you install that hardware onto the top of the hardware system, we can create different virtual environments. These virtual environments cannot directly interact with the hardware, so they cannot directly interact with the hardware, they are indirectly interacting with the hardware in order to make use of resources. But how the illusion we are creating? Suppose here person, what first person will think of? This first person will think of that I am having the process. First person what he'll think of is, like he is having the process, he is having the process, and he is having the kernel, and he is having the hardware. So what he'll think of is, I'm having this virtue, I mean I'm having the resources for my own purpose. I'm not he is unable to know that it is in sharing mode or it is in virtual mode. What he'll think is, I'm having a process, I'm having an operating system, I'm having the my own hardware resources. He'll be in that illusion. And what the second person will do, or the second person is going to have an illusion, the second person is also will be in such a sort of illusion that he is having the process, he is having the kernel, and he is having the VM2, that is the hardware. So this is meant only for second process, he will be thinking like that. But what we know is, it is an illusion, it is not a separate hardware is going to be provided to the particular user too. And it is no particular hardware is provided for the user one. We are having only the main hardware, the main hardware or a physical hardware we are having. And by making use of this virtual machine, or by making use of this virtual machine implementation, we have created three different virtual machine environments, creating an illusion that each virtual machine is going to have its own hardware. But the thing is, it is not having its own hardware, it is going to be shared. That is, this is the reason how this is the concept how we are going to make use of this virtual machine, is it not? So here, like in the previous classes we have seen, like this is how the virtual machine implementation is going to be done. Suppose our hardware we our physical system is of Windows. our physical system is of Windows. By making use of this virtual machine, what is the main advantages? We can we can operate different operating systems on a Windows operating system. So the basic version is Windows operating system that we have in a physical system. But by making use of this virtual machine, we can install in VM1, we can run some Linux, we can run some Linux software, and in VM2 we can run some any other distributed software, and in VM3 we can run some Ubuntu software. Fine. So we are going to run different softwares on different virtual machines. But the thing is, here we are having a Windows as a basic major thing we are having, operating system we are having. But the major advantages, like when we are going to take a company, so in that company not everybody is like we can't make use of only a Windows operating system, we need different operating systems. Like in that particular point of view, these virtual machines are very very helpful. We, as though we are having the Windows operating system, by making or creating a virtual environment, we can run different softwares, I mean different operating systems on a single operating system. So this is the main advantage. And the best example of this virtual machine is virtual reality, as it is a trending virtual reality in the sense like the best example I can give you for virtual reality is virtual glasses. You people are well aware of, right? If you are going to keep that virtual glasses, like what and how you feel, you are going to feel that you are going to ride that bike, you are going to do that racing, and you are going to do that thing what it is happening and really, but you are not doing that racing. But what the feel you will be going to get is, as you are doing that bike racing or as you are doing that car racing, you will be in an illusion that you are personally doing that. But what the reality is, you are not riding the car or you are not riding the bike, but you feel an illusion by making use of that virtual reality specs. You feel an illusion that you yourself are going to ride a bike or going to ride a car. So that is the best example I can give you for virtual reality. So in that, based on that same concept, here we are not providing different hardwares for different environments. So we are having a single hardware. By making use of that virtual machine implementation or a virtual machine software which we have on the top of the hardware, by making use of that virtual machine hardware, we are creating different environments, and each environment we can run different software, different operating systems. So that is the major advantage you will be going to find in this virtual machine concept. I think you got the concept. Fine. So this is how the virtual machine implementation is going to be done. So when it comes to this as we all know, for each and everything, for each and every system, there are two different modes, as we already know. The first one is the user mode and the second one is the kernel mode, is it not so? So when we are going to have a system, so you will be going to have the user mode as well as the kernel mode. So the user mode, in the sense, you will be going to have two modes. This is the user mode, and you will be going to have the another mode which is called as kernel mode, right? In user mode, user applications are going to be executed. User applications, like user tasks, are going to be done in user mode. When it comes to the kernel mode, like operating system, one part of operating system is the kernel. By making use of this kernel, we are going to utilize the hardware resources. Fine. User mode, in the sense, the mode bit is equals to, here the mode bit is equals to 1, and when kernel mode, the mode bit is equals to 0. So when user is going to do in user mode, the mode bit is equals to 1. If he wants to come to the kernel mode, then a trap generates, then he'll come to the kernel mode and the mode bit will change from 1 to 0. He'll be executing the task and again he'll be going back to the user mode, and again the mode bit will change from 0 to 1. This is the concept of user mode and kernel mode. So when it comes to here, like we are going to have in the virtual machines also, you will be going to have the virtual user mode and the virtual kernel mode. Fine. Virtual user mode in the sense like both of which runs in a physical mode. So virtual user mode and virtual kernel mode. So virtual user mode in the sense when you have seen in the diagram, so this VM1, VM2, VM3, this VM1 comma VM2 comma VM3, they are running in the user mode. Fine, they are running in the user mode, and virtual machine software is going to be run in the kernel mode. So for each and every system we used to have two different modes, user mode and the kernel mode. So user mode in the sense user operations will be going to have in user mode and hardware related items will be going to done in the kernel mode. But when it comes to the virtual machine also, you will be going to have virtual machine user mode, virtual machine kernel mode. Fine. So which comes under user mode and which comes under kernel mode? Here VM1, what are the things? This virtual machine manager where we have installed on the top of the hardware, like which is in kernel. When it comes to the VM1, like this VM1, VM2, VM3 virtual machine environments, we are working in the user mode. So here VM1, VM2, VM3 are in user mode, virtual machine manager is in kernel mode. Till here it is okay, and again come back to this thing. So here when it comes to the VM1, here we are going to have the VM1 hardware, here we are going to have the kernel, and on the top of the kernel we are going to have the processes. Fine. So this is how we will be going to have, suppose for example process 3. So this is a process 3, and for this process 3 we are having a kernel and we are having the VM3 hardware resources, VM3 virtual machine environment. So in this we call this is a one system. Why? Because in this general system we are having a process, we are having a kernel, and we are having the hardware. So in this process we are saying that it is in user mode, and when it comes to the kernel, like it is in the kernel mode. So when the user wants to switch from user to kernel, like we will be going to say that is in the kernel mode. In the same manner, when it comes to the this virtual machine 3 concept, so here you are going to have the process P3 and you are going to have the kernel and we are going to have the VM3. So in this process or in this system, which is in user mode and which is in kernel mode, as I have said you that VM3 is in user mode, right? So as VM3 is in user mode, like all the operating system kernel is also will be in the user mode only. Why? Because here we have to maintain this concept very much important. You have to mark this concept very much important. As I have said you that this VM3 is in user mode. So user mode in the sense, so kernel here, what the kernel we are using, what the process you are executing, all the things comes under the user mode only, but not the kernel mode here, but only this virtual machine manager comes under the kernel mode. So these are the two different modes of the virtual machine implementation. As the normal system is going to have the user mode and the kernel mode, the virtual machine will also have the user mode and the kernel mode. The user related items are going to be done in the user mode. So VM1 is in the user mode. The top of the VM1 is kernel, but as it is a kernel also, this VM1 and this kernel also be in the user mode. Why? Because above the user mode it comes under the user mode only, but not the kernel mode. But when it comes to the virtual machine manager, this virtual machine manager comes under the kernel mode. So these are the two different modes we are having the virtual machine implementation. So this is the basic funda of virtual machine concept. So let me tell you in brief that a virtual machine creates an abstraction of the hardware devices. So what is an abstraction in the sense, like it is going to divide the hardware resources into different separate environments, but it is not actually dividing the hardware resources. It is creating an illusion that we are going to have a separate hardware resources for a separate system. So by making use of this virtual machine implementation, we can run different operating systems on a same same system. So as our basic operating system is Windows, but still by making use of the virtual machine implementation, we can run Ubuntu, we can run Relax, and we can run any other software, any other operating systems we want. That is the major advantage why we are going for this virtual machine concept. And another best and example is best advantages, the security and protection is up to the peaks. Why? Because we are not interacting one virtual machine with the another virtual machine. Fine, suppose when it comes to this normal system, we are having this hardware, right? This hardware is going to be used by this process. Fine. So but when it comes to here we are having VM1, VM2 and VM3. VM1 has its own virtual hardware, machine hardware. VM2 has its own virtual machine, and VM3 also has its own virtual machine. I mean process 3 has its own virtual machine and kernel. Process 2 has its own virtual machine and kernel, as well as process 1 has its own virtual machine and the kernel. So we are giving a high level security when we are going to do with this virtual machine concept. So this is the basic introduction or basic concept and basic implementation of virtual machine implementation. Fine. So if you go to this, so this is how you'll be going to have virtual machines software runs in a kernel mode, whereas this virtual machine software here we will be going to run this virtual machine in this software only. So this is how we'll be going to do. And next one is we'll be going to have the many advantages and disadvantages of this virtual machine software. So what are the main advantages and disadvantages we are having? So the main advantages and disadvantages of this virtual machine are, as I have said you, the protection is up to the peaks. Why? Because there is no sharing of resources. That is the main. So we are having the process P1, and we are having its own kernel, and we are having its own VM hardware resources. So each process is going to utilize its own hardware resources. There is no sharing of hardware resources. That is the reason why we can say this virtual machine is of high protection, and all the resources of one VM is completely isolated from another. As we have seen in the diagram, VM1 is isolated from VM2 and VM2 is isolated from VM3, and we are dividing the hardware into mini disk. Like you have to get an doubt that how we are going to have one hardware is going to be divided into different hardwares. So we are dividing the hardware into mini disks in the sense suppose here I have said you this is the hardware. Fine, this is the major hardware, and here we are having VM1 and VM2 and VM3. So in this hardware is going to be divided into mini disks. This disk is going to be given to hardware 1, and this disk is going to be given to hardware 2, and this disk is going to be given to VM3. So this is the major hardware. This major hardware is divided into mini disks. Each disk, for disk 1 is given to VM1, disk 2 is given to VM2 and disk 3 is given to VM3. So that is how we are going to divide our complete hardware into different disks, and we are providing the security. So these are the best advantages you can hear. And one of the important advantages, you can use multiple operating system environments. Multiple operating system environments in the sense, as I have said you, that the basic system is in Windows, but by making use of virtual system implementation, we can run the Linux software. In VM1 we can run Linux, and VM2 we can run distributed some other operating system, and VM3 you can run this Ubuntu or some other software. So that is how this is very much advantageous. These are the best advantages of virtual machine concept. And next one is the disadvantages. If you are having disadvantages, that system might have some disadvantages too. What is the major drawback is virtual machines are less efficient than real machines. Why? Because they are not directly interacting with the hardware, they are indirectly interacting with the hardware. So this is how it is going to be the drawback. Fine. So here we'll be going to say that the hardware is going to be indirectly handled but not directly. So this is the drawback. And running software on the top of the host operating system means it will have to request access the hardware from the host. So as we all know, this will slow the usability of the system. So what we have done in the major Windows operating system, we are installing this another operating system. So shifting from one operating to another system and one operating to another operating system, it always reduce the usability of the systems. The time is going to be taken much, so the usability of the system is going to be reduced. So that is the drawback of this virtual machine. And third is, when several virtual machines are running on the same host, make a note of it, are running on the same host, the performance may be reduced. So hindered in the sense the performance is going to be reduced. So on one hardware we have installed, by making use of virtual machine, we have installed three different virtual machines hardwares. So automatically the performance is going to be reduced. So this is how the virtual machines are going to have very much advantages to the people, and these are the some of the disadvantages we find in that. So the main best advantage is for the companies. Why? Because they use a virtual machine in order to have a separate in operating systems. With the one operating system they can't complete their whole tasks and whole responsibilities. So what have they have to do is, they have to make use of different operating systems. So without going to different systems, we are installing a different operating systems on a single system, which is very much beneficial to the user who is going to using it, or which is beneficial to the organization which is going to use it. So this is the major concept, important concept of the virtual machine. Fine. So hope you people have the good information regarding this session. Fine. Thank you all. Like in the next session we'll be going to start with the next unit. With this we have completed this one. In the next session we'll be going to start the new topic. Thank you students. Thank you all. Have a nice day.